Beautiful people, most welcome to the Voice of Evolution. I'm Cholochi. I love to talk about present circumstances, although I would truly wish people would come together more easily, take care of each other, take care of the animal kingdom, and especially the elements that are grounding so fast. After the eclipse, we had quite a brain transition, I would say, and more people realizing what they allowed and what they did not allow, pardon me, within self. So it's all about reintegrating the reality of self, where you came from. They all may say we are stardust, but we truly are crystalline engines. And a crystalline engine requires recrystallizing. With as many crystals that you have, my house is piled with crystals just to crystallize within and without. So how come for many people it does not work? It does not work if you didn't lay a foundation in which the function of a crystal can come up to its optimum potential and start working with your organism or reorganizing actually your organism. And that is truly essential, because if you rise your vibration up sex, let's say at least to the sixth dimension, that's the plane where you realize, you wake up, you start to work with self, you get frustrated, you get the angers out. You start to heal inside out, and yeah, a lot of guilt comes with it, and a lot of elimination, still maybe fears. And for those who still want to delete fears with some symbology, with the universes, I have a free meditation on my website that is extremely potent. It couldn't get more potent than that. And that works with celestial, universal realms of light. So as the earth plane actually is not only moving more and more or deeper within light earth, and thus requiring the access positions through, it's also the universal or the light realms that are grounding and fusing with the light we can find on the earth. And so the light realms intention actually is to completely fuse the earth with every scientific light technology that is out there in the cosmos. And it's for us to remember why we came here, what your assignment is, to know what your strength is beyond self-empowerment. So moving into self-empowerment, what it means in the first place is you gain knowledge, intelligence, intuition beyond anything you can find in present day books, because that is turning into nonsensical nonsense. And reading and allowing your energy to read crystalline vibrations, to read a higher level of intuition, because when striving and living in soul consciousness that has broken us and moving self back into spirit consciousness, that would delete all the lower levels and especially the chakra system, and move that back into one pillar of light, one pillar of strength, one pillar of unification, one pillar of extreme powers. And there's nothing as powerful than the animal kingdom to assist you there. And when holding a foundation in the crystalline grid, if you haven't so or have no knowledge, you can still do it today. There is a link for a 5-day online to start crystallizing self, start to work with at least the first 12 ways of creation, the 12 tribes of Israel, which today are the 12 teams, but located already on the earth plane. So don't search above you or underneath you. They are right here on the same platform waiting for you to equalize. So when gridding, you get a team that speaks to you day and night. I mean, it cannot get easier, right? In order to get there, actually, you need to purify to that level. That's all there is to it, and it's easy to understand. So we purify the blood, the skeletal structure, your muscles, your visions, your brain waves, and you purify everything in the lower chakra, meaning the solar plexus, the eternal gardens, or the Donna Gate, or the Garden of Eden, no matter what you term it, and especially the root into the density, your root, your grounding chakra, that needs to open like wild fire. And that is actually the seminar that I will provide for the winter solstice, which is going to be extremely potent. And I must say I'm a Capricorn, so that's easy for me, right? I just merge all intelligences from all 12 universes in one platform, get that open into the bridge of light, which is the knowledge, the green light go, if you think about the northern lights and get that up into the universal lights, then you have some pretty potent design coming uh, into fruition and coming into your reality. It demands, though, that you start working with your own design that come through your crystalline grid. The crystalline grid, as said many times before, they are underneath the matrix and over the matrix. So what they are doing right now, in order to bring these truth flames in, up upon the surface, actually, is they squeeze that. And the more they squeeze, the more you see restrictions, the more you see so much rampant negativity and rampant attempts to keep you in control, manipulation as a slave. But we are very clever, right? And we can move beyond the news. We can move beyond um, any constriction. It just requires a little bit of work. And so here, between today and this winter solstice, I'm gonna do a 3-day seminar. You can have access on it for an online, but it's going to change the entire ley line of your 2022 experiences, upgrades, and rise beyond anything experienced before. That promises quite a turnover in brain consciousness, which is a necessity. So when the light realms merge with the light nucleus, so to speak, of this earth plane, the earth plane is going to move into a faster axis position, actually. And that axis position will move in the first place with the house of light, which is Shambhala, which you need to access in the first place to find your degrees of joy, empowerment, and true strength that speaks for self. True strength is the wall of power moving through the entire spinal column, moving through the throat, opening up your empowered brain that moves back with the high heart in your heart and open up many, many degrees that are so powerful, but move with such a high degree of love. It's not about self-love or anything, because then you start to say, I love you so much, I love you so much. I mean, that is self-love that makes you say these words. But then again, that's the intelligence within love that merges with the brain and you will speak completely different than you have ever witnessed before. And that will change your environment, because the changes you bring in your body, in your space, in your energy field, and beyond that, and working with all your universes, the masters of light, the angelic kingdoms, all light beings that did not fall. So if you put the word light before everything you ask, you're pretty much safe. If not, I would be careful, because many have fallen and many are not aware of it. Connecting with those rampant reptilians and whatever is out there, the monsters of the universe, actually, they are all over the place. So when you protect yourself and you move with your crystalline grid, that is when you feel reels upon reels upon reels of light moving within, without, wheeling out every density. And so when you encounter anyone willing to break you, I mean, to say negative things or whatever is not appropriate, then your energy field will automatically return these energies back to sender. Remember Elvis? Back to sender. And that is so, I've experienced it for a whole month now, and that is so so strange, so funny to experience, and it works instantly actually, but you need to have access at least 6 and 7 dimension. 7 dimension, you're totally free. So the liberation that moves actually comes from the peace within self, knowing what you work with in light technology. That is, I mean, that could be geometry, that could be numbers, that could be a combination of both, and moving with 22 ways of creation at least, and expanding upon them. And then you get your own design with your own colors, with your own geometric patterns, with your own numbers. And that is where you have access into the joy, the power that is truly you. And nobody can touch an empowered being. That's impossible, because anything lesser will be returned to sender. You can only connect with equals at a time, so you don't have to put up with any nonsense anymore. And that is a great thing. So that is extremely powerful, because you start to heal out yourself inside out. You become the eternal healer, which is many, many, many degrees beyond anything you may know, like Reiki, that keeps on turning on its own axis and never moves up, right? It's the beginning point. But in the eternal healing, you move into the immortal self, the immortal, eternal, celestial self, and the universal being, which is actually your origin. And when you touch your origin, you don't have to go into the lower degrees of healing anymore, right? So that is, yeah, a little bit that exposes you to the new you, and that will definitely surprise you. So here, have a look at what I have in store for you, because if you start doing these alignments and getting your position in this world right here on light earth, and grounding them and working with it, you can go any mile. You can really truly run any mile. Of course, your diet will change. Of course, your fitness routine will change. Of course, your communication will change. Of course, family members will be deleted. Friendships will be deleted. And again, you invite new business partners, new friendships, and create a new unified field, because that is what 2022 is about. We are going to build new communities, and where people that live in sixth and seventh dimension, and that will not allow any lower field into it, if you like it or not. The universe has been preparing us for 10 years now, so there's no more excuses accepted. there is so much available into self-healing. It only needs the laying or the ley lines into a foundation, knowing how to upgrade within your space with your direct connect to your source, your spark, and your spirit. And that is when tears flow all of the time. That is so potent when you have established your direct connect to your source. At least, I mean, when I get up in the morning and I bring in massive grids for the animals and you know, to save them, and for the elements, my own grids, my own connections, my own teams, and then I'm busy already for half an hour, and then I connect with my source and my spark, and that is when the tears flow, and that is when the information flows, and then you go non-stop, and that is the proof in the roof that you need. And no nonsense. A direct connect is being seen in the eyes. It's being seen in the energy fields. And repairing your direct connect comes from your source. And that is actually, when in the beginning, billions of years ago, we had a master source stone, like a crystal ball on top of, do I have a crystal ball here? Yeah. On top of our brains is like this, you see. That's the Madagascar one. That is one of Peru. That's where the female energies come together, and then have an amethyst of Brazil. To open up your highest level capacities, or to start out at least a spiritual body. Most people do not know how to cultivate, integrate, and work with a spiritual body. Well, that is the least we could offer our source back to what has been given to us. So do understand, this is just a time for huge elimination processes. That's all there is to it. Understanding it, finding your grace within your change is all there is to it. And doing the work you are required to do. And you can only find that when living truly beyond the matrix. That is about it. Check it out. It's all there in the description box. The links are there on my website. If you have any questions, please shoot. I really love to know how you feel about crystallizing self, how you feel about moving beyond the matrix. Thank you. So here, especially for the end of December alignments, moving into the winter solstice, which is a very, very potent axis position, but also giving access to everything we ever dreamed of, and that is a 7-dimensional vibration in which you see everything, but truly everything crystal clear. When I work in the grids, in the crystalline grids, and I know which one to call forth and really install and integrate them, I see as crystal clear as that crystal ball, because I work with it like 3 or 4 hours a day. No excuses. Even when I hit midnight at night, I just do 1 or 2 hours of meditation. And that is, I feel, so beneficial when you are living in self-empowerment. That's actually the only thing you want to do. And you really do not want to miss out. So here, let's see what I have here. I got my cards from the I Am faculty, mentor cards for Modern Day Ascension. The I Am, the male, female, that needs to rise together. So it's available on my website if you like it. And I created these art cards from my own art. And they are very potent. I mean, 1 or 2 cards could really bring you very, very far. We don't need a spread of 20 or 30 cards. to know what is going on, right? So here I'll pull 3 cards for the solstice. The first one I have here is very nice. I'm one, yeah, with the body of beauty. 7D is my fee. Isn't that accurate? I mean, that is truly working with the elements. You see the pink movement here. That is a pink male and female dragon that is moving beyond the density, because a pink embodiment requires a 7-dimensional vibration with the spiritual body. So I'll explain that later. Let's have another one. I usually pull like 3 cards, more than enough. Yeah, Bedabi. That is 100% resurrection within all dimensions. That is what I've been talking about. So in this card, we have all the 12 ways, 12 tribes of Israel coming together in the pentagram, or the downward white pentagram, the upward black pentagram, working together as the most potent energies, because we are living in the black universe that reveals everything, because black makes you see inside out and has nothing to do with black magic, but the truth of revealing everything in what we live right now. So that is such a great card. It's number 15. And another one, okay? Let's have another one. Oh, Jeezy, I like it. I am light connections, the universal network. So truly, these cards are so to the point, it brings it all together. You see, the universal network is actually the spinal column connecting with all the spines in this universe. So these 3 cards is really requiring you to move into the healing processes 6 I mentioned, with the spiritual body, knowing your foundation in a crystalline embodiment, becoming the eternal immortal self, and opening up to that. So let's break them down. Let's start with card number 42. 42 makes up 6. 6 is like an eternal spiral, 6 and 9s. And let's see what we have here, right? Because, you know, the body of beauty is as important as a spiritual body, because it assists massively when you start to cleanse yourself inside out. It helps you to go on a diet. It helps you go to, let's say, a fast process, and all these things that are very, very deep, and choosing to crystallize self out of the matrix. If you want to stay in the matrix and not living in the crystalline grids, there is going to be really a demarcation line, and that is what I wish not to witness. But we all have been given the opportunity to what is required from us, and to move into what is available. So here, that card is connected to the ethers. I always have a few mantras moving with it. So I'm allowing my eternal partner to meet me up in the realms of serene beauty. Ain't that something? So it's up to us, really. The elements represented by the green, white, yellow rays on this card, or photosynthesis, which is a process used by plants and other organisms, such as the human kingdom, to convert light, electrical energy into chemical substances. So that's very much to the point, because the golden universe and the golden substances, along with the pink body of beauty, helping you to rise very fast into a new lifestyle, actually, will provide the fuel and new energy substances. So the artwork actually represents both male, female pink peach dragon waves that are in perfect alignment with the twin suns, so the male and the female sun vibration in the high heart that moves everything together into the pillar of light, and thus moving quite obviously out of the dumbing of the chakra system. So the seventh dimension holds a very high vibration regarding information, regarding intelligence. We need a higher level of intelligence because it's been held back too much as well. So the pink waves at the left of this artwork show the integrative highways needed to bring that beautiful dream true. So, and the invisible white and cream rays are blended in completion in the black scene, so important to hold the purity of vibration. So actually it's all about choosing to radiate the beauty, especially as well in the brain, and not allowing any low consciousness in your brain, and rising that upwards, in which the body can merge with that consciousness. So that is what it comes down. There's a lot more information here, but the book is available via the description. And so here, the next card is 100% resurrection, all dimensions. That is, I find it very intriguing. It's very seldom I pick that card, number 50. And so let's see what it says. Because 50 in itself, it's a 5, it's a pentagram that has many, many, many potent energies coming through, right? So, and that is, so as that is connected to the element earth. Like I said in the predictions, like we need to fuse the earth with the ethers or the etherical spiritual body. So it all comes together. I don't even have to pull any cards. So it's really to move into the golden age, which is your destiny. And so the 12th way of creation are many times very much misinterpreted, and should serve the lifting actually of consciousness. And as they all represent 12 archetypes of consciousness, so with each way making up 12 types of consciousness, times 12 make up 144 levels of faculties of consciousness, and thus the name of this book, the I Am Faculties. And when digging through each way, and it's 12 types of consciousness, we got work to do. But one day at a time, one way at a time, and understanding how that particular way changes your consciousness is all you need to do, and that is really fun. Today, meditation alignment should bring instant changes daily, and knowing what to do. And after that, after 20 years, comes the focus, or in between alignments comes the focus, and that's the way to do it, the ease and grace way. So these ways of creations can be studied through experiences, communication, alignment to your source, your spark, and will assist you in the development of the divine self, streaming pure sorcery through. That is when you feel vibrating everything around you and within your body. That is sorcery. That is the connection with your source to your source, and how that has been brought through. So we all need to move into full recognition, into a crystalline embodiment of pure source light 24/7. And after that comes the higher vibration of bilocation, trilocation, and so on. Because when we move and crystallize and move into the self-empowerment, in which we start to see inside out, we start to create light parts, light body parts. And again, these light body parts turn into light waves. And these light waves can double up and triplicate, and thus the term bilocation, etc. So, yeah. Let's say we need to move to all those 12, 13 gates in order to move into the 10 higher ways or embodiment, and allowing that through many interesting applications. So that's the alignment that the universe brings through. So it's very much explained to what each way is truly connected to. So we have the white way, that is a purification, highest health, that is a justice. The blue way of peace and truth and ease and grace, that is being planted right now, because planet Earth is definitely 100% connected to the blue way. Then we have the fire engine, the yellow way, the sun, the new solar system, and your place in the house of light. And then comes the lavender spiritual embodiment, the green way of knowledge, the new architectural design, the building of the communities, etc., etc. I could go on. So it's a matter of working with these 12 ways in your foundation, in your crystalline grid, knowing what you do, and then that opens up that wall of power, that pillar of light that merges everything together in your organism, and that is termed ascension. So, yeah, there's a lot of information about that. And so we have the last card, which is number 31. I am light connections, the universal network. 31 comes down to a 4. 4 is like a lightning bolt, right? The sign 4 is a lightning bolt. And yeah, universal connections always bring lightning bolts, so that's pretty potent. I never thought of it that way anyways. So yeah, let's see what I wrote about it. Yeah, it is. How interesting. It's connected to water. Of course, a network is always connected to water. Water are the highest central bodies. When you deleted your emotional body, so no more emotional body is allowed when you live in the 7 dimensions. So the working mechanics from 6 into 7 is all we need to do throughout the month of December, and get there in no time. So the power of water and the universal networks can truly not be underestimated, for it has the power to connect and truly interlink many power plants on the earth, and that will make you understand how you can grow a lot faster, and how you move into self-realization on a higher level. So clearing the water content in the body is one of the most important, powerful transitions we can make. So connecting, when you have your Mikiva, your light vehicle, connected in the crystalline grids, then you have access to the oceans. Like you could call for it the southern Atlantic Ocean, to clear your waters. And when you work with that, and the spirits within that, and the elements within, you feel these waves very potently in your body. So that is what is going to be grounded. Actually, we're gonna feel the shifts, and because maybe you are a great writer and you'd like to bring in new information, you need to purify the water content and make the correct links to your special team of guidances. So maybe you're a great musician and you need new artistic input and produce new songs. So the underwater content brings through many layers that are special to you, that are innate, and starting to work with it, that is where you get the answers. So maybe you're a scientist, or a universal network is all about how we fuse, how we synchronize the neurons in the brain, and as presented on the card, for them to flow with the information that runs through the water content of the body. And that truly needs a huge and deep transition. So that is what is needed actually for the solstice, the winter solstice, the complete transition of the body from the water, the emotions, into the higher sensual body, the connection with all 12 tribes of Israel, and moving into the higher vibration of the 10 ways, completing 22 cycles, and moving that in your energy field. And then that is the complete movement into the 7th dimension. 7D is my fee. So that was truly exact, right? That is what I have. You can do it if you have the knowledge. You can be assisted through the onlines I have down there. I do individual sessions as well for the end of this year. No matter where you are at, or if you're unsure, I do most of the time healing sessions that are very deep, that take at least 1 hour. I talk as fast as I do right now, and I get instant information. That's instant knowledge. I take it out of your brain. From your brain, it's going to be deleted from your embodiment, meaning mental, emotional, and psychological diseases, which will in the end delete the physical disease to the point, because I would say the worst of diseases is the breathing system, right? I'm an expert in clearing the lungs, the circulation system, and everything that is cluttered in your blood circulations, and thus that clutters your brain, your higher senses, and everything down there, but as well in deleting family members, friendships, or just breaking the cords from many old connections. So getting completely detached is number one, into moving into the spiritual body. So that's what I have for you here. Please check it out on my website, and if you're still moving into fears or not knowing what to do, please feel free to do my meditation movement out of fear, and at least do it for 1 month. It's, I don't know, I think it's about 30 minutes at least, and it's very potent, and it moves very quickly if doing it consciously. So apart from that, I offer for the end of the year also a free ebook, a book I've written about the reality of moving from the matrix in the crystalline grids, how the crystalline grids work. And that was a true story written via Facebook Messenger. So feel free to download that, read about it, and start to awaken on a very high level. It's fun to read, it's authentic, it has been written between 2 people willing to move beyond the atrocities the earth presented until now. So here, I think by the end of the year, I will bring a great message how to move into 2022. Please feel free to comment and tell me what you think of it, and share the video if you liked it, or subscribe, and feel free to think your way. Thank you so much. I'm Charlotte. Allow you to have the new apps or applications on your cell phone, and when you don't have that, you are a million years backwards. You are streaming backwards instead of moving with the flow of evolution and the fast spinning vibration of the earth into its ascension, because the earth is not only important for the solar system, but for the galactic universal systems, even into the beyond, as it carries that high vibration, the crystallization of the body, in which my book speaks about a lot, and how to do it, because the healing comes through the crystalline grids, overriding the matrix. Remember the movie The Matrix? And so overriding the electromagnetic system is what is going to heal you inside out. And a few techniques can assist you. So I explain that is in my side notes in this book, after having these intense, deep, genuine, pragmatic, analytical conversations with this entity, in which we would certainly not impoverish conversations. We would just keep it up to sending each other some musical vibes and stuff, which are also there in the book. So it's a great joy to bring it out in great and high level authenticity, as I didn't leave out a word at all.